By the end of 2026, the psychedelic industry is scheduled to submit its first new drug applications for FDA approval of psilocybin and LSD-based therapies. This regulatory phase is being driven by billion-dollar pharmaceutical acquisitions and a bipartisan push for veteran-specific mental health care. Industry priorities have shifted towards solving the logistical and infrastructure challenges required for a national clinical rollout. Compass Pathways and Definium are leading this push, having structured their late-stage programs to address previous FDA concerns regarding trial design, with potential approvals expected as early as 2027. This chart shows Compass Pathways Phase 3 COMP006 results for treatment-resistant depression. The data demonstrated a statistically significant 3.8-point reduction in depression scores compared to a 1 mg control group. Despite these results, widespread access is restricted by a logistical bottleneck. Classic psychedelic protocols require patients to remain in a supervised clinic for 6 to 8 hours. This is why developers are pivoting to neuroplastogens, compounds designed to stimulate brain rewiring without the hallucinogenic trip. This would shift the treatment from a day-long monitored session to a standard 30-minute outpatient model. Large-scale pharmaceutical companies are backing this move. AbbVie recently committed $1.2 billion to acquire Dogamesh Pharmaceuticals and its short-acting scalable pipeline. Long-term commercial success in this sector will depend on which treatments can integrate most efficiently into existing clinical infrastructure. While federal reviews continue, psychedelics have emerged as a rare point of bipartisan cooperation in Washington, primarily as a tool to address veteran suicide and PTSD. Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins has directly advised the White House on the potential of these substances and is overseeing approximately a dozen clinical trials within the VA system. State legislatures are also moving forward independently. MAP data shows pilot programs and legislative frameworks now active or pending in 8 states, including New York, Missouri, and Virginia. However, this political momentum is now facing a clinical reality check as the market begins to filter out riskier or less effective programs. MindBio's anticipated LSD microdosing program recently collapsed after failing to meet any primary or secondary endpoints for treating major depression. Similarly, the $50 million state initiative for ibogaine research in Texas is under heavy scrutiny due to known risks of cardiac toxicity and mortality. These failures indicate that political and financial enthusiasm must ultimately reconcile with the rigors of clinical safety data. FDA approval is only the first hurdle. Even if approved, the DEA must reschedule these substances from Schedule 1 before clinicians can legally prescribe them. Following rescheduling, individual state laws and the need for specialized clinic staffing will determine exactly how quickly these therapies reach the 13 million patients currently diagnosed with PTSD and treatment-resistant depression. To track the actual timeline of this rollout, look past the trial results and monitor the growth of clinic infrastructure and DEA policy changes.